Think your lashes have hit their limit? Discover limitless length and full volume with Maybelline Sky High Mascara. The Flex Tower brush bends to volumize and extend every single lash from root to tip. And the lightweight bamboo-infused formula makes lashes feel weightless. Now in 8 bold shades so you can take your lashes to new heights every day. Visit Maybelline.com to shop Sky High Mascara now.
Every who down in Hoonuville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
Welcome to Horror Bytes on Safe Room, the show where we discuss the smaller scares and teenier terrors available to play on your gaming devices. Every week we pick 1 or 2 bite-sized horror games and have a suitably short and sweet chat about them. I'm Neil Bolt, and taking a stroll in the park with me this week is, as ever, my co-host Jay Krieger. How are you doing, Jay?
Doing well. It's the second game we've covered this year. We play a park ranger, and as was the case in the last report, this is a game where things don't go as swimmingly as they could.
No, they don't indeed. But before we get into that, suppose you do like the sound of what we played, you'd want to try it for yourself, and you're in luck because, of course, the show notes will include a link to the game that has been discussed. And as ever, if you enjoy the game once you've played it, consider supporting the developers by donating, wishlisting their future projects, or just simply sharing anything about it, because it all helps to build the next generation of horror game developers. But for this week's pick, we go back to the very short horror game format with an Aussie-flavoured morsel of terror from Jazari in the game Everbark. And in Everbark, which is a PSX-style game, we pull on the sturdy boots of Park Ranger Craig, a first responder tasked with investigating a distress call that is sent from deep within the, I'm going to say this right, Dandenong rainforest. And yeah, so the main story of this is, what will you find from that distress call? Now, the game is like I say, going back to the sub 10-minute sort of thing that we've used to cover quite regularly on Horror Bytes, which is kind of refreshing, and taking it on board with that as well. That obviously it's very narrative focused and very simple in what it's doing. It's probably no spoiler to say that after a little sort of wandering around, sort of doing some radio chat about the area, you get put into a cave-in situation and have to rescue the bodies of some people. Now, beyond that, I won't spoil too much because it's, like I said, small experience. You can literally do it in a break time sort of thing, and that's great about it. But I think it's got quite some quite neat ideas in terms of what it's doing. Like I said, it's very simple: walk, find the thing sort of thing, basic maze kind of game in that sense. Which I know we've played at some more like complicated things in recent months, but yeah, it's the ideas it has in terms of like what threat you come up against and the slight bit of mystery that it does have until you find that threat. It kind of has a multiple ending thing in sense of like you can escape this cave-in, you can find the people within the cave-in, and there are things that you have to avoid in that cave-in. Like I say, it's very difficult to talk about something that is so short when it's very story heavy because you have this problem with it. But yeah, it's what we said. You played Park Ranger style game this year in the last report, and we played games in caves, even in Horror Bytes, and yeah, I think it does the job nice enough. I think the visual style kind of suits dark, gloomy environments with like rock surfaces and stuff. You don't have to worry too much about detail. it's very clear about what you can see and what you can do. And I think it communicates very well what's interactable. There are shapes that are around everywhere that are similar to what you're trying to find, but it's very clear when you found something that you're supposed to be looking for in the game, which is when you're making such a short experience, you want it to be good at communicating what that is. I mean, it's not like very intense or anything though. It's like doesn't feel very stressful. You can basically go through the game without really getting into trouble. Like it's very easy to do that. I think the first time I did it, I don't think I really encountered anything, which made me play it again just to check that I hadn't missed something, because I would have been very disappointed if it had nothing. But it just happens to be a quirk of it that you can have that sort of happen. But yeah, it's a fun little thing. Not like mind blowing or anything, but like as a sort of very bite-sized idea. I quite liked it. How about you?
Yeah, we're being purposely vague about like the contents there within in the cave, but I think that what makes Everbark kind of stand out from some of these similar experiences maybe that we've played like it is the production value. I think is pretty strong. Like that lead in when you've got the audio of people relaying information about this like earthquake that's kind of ravaged the land. Like you have a guy calling to the emergency services and he's like bitching about his car, and then he's talking about like his his window's been shattered, and then he mentions like his girlfriend's mother's urn like fell off the shelf, and he kind of just like buries the lead there a little bit in terms of like what's going on. But between that and then you get some just like pretty quality sound design, I think, especially once you go from traipsing through the woods and then in the cave itself. The sound design there is very good, given that this is, one of those PSX style experiences. The graphical style is something that we've seen before, but I think also like the world itself is just a little bit more detailed, which I really like and appreciate, especially when you are visiting this like archaeology site early on in the woods. Like there's just there's little things you can interact with, like the lights and things of that nature. So I think that for an experience like this that is check some boxes for us that we've already, experienced, I think that it's easy to look past maybe the familiarity because of how it's presented and sort of the refined nature of that. And yeah, I think overall, like you have those features and it is well worth checking out for the, 5 to 10 minutes it takes to get through it.
Yeah, I think that having that sort of Australian flavour to it as well gives it a little sense of place, which is hard to do when it's very sort of foresty, dark cave sort of environments. You can't communicate too well what sort of place you're in, but it does at least give you a little bit of context and something a bit different as well, which is good. But yeah, that is all for this week. Thank you again, Jay, for talking about these short horror games with me. And if you, the listener, have a short horror game, a demo, a game jam entry, or proof of concept that you think we should be talking about, you can email us at saferoompod@gmail.com. Or Jay?
People can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SaferoomPod.
There you go. We will be back with more small-scale horror next week.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.